Your new life will cost you your old one. Your new life will cost you where it is that you used to be, right? Now that saying might kind of throw you off. It might not make sense to you. It might just sound a little off. It might even sound wrong to you. I know it sounded all of those ways to me the first several times that I heard it, right? It was like, what do you mean? My old life? I love my life, or, I like that part of my life. And that part's not so ugly. What do you mean it'll cost me my old one to get to this new life? Right? And it also can be frightening to a degree. Like, it's going to cost my new life. Well, new life? Well, I mean, this part of my life is comfortable and this part of my life feels safe. I don't know if I want a new life. Am I really going to sacrifice my normal way of living for a new life that I don't even know? These are the thoughts that happen very, very easily. But it's not about just sacrificing everything you know for a life that you don't know whatsoever. No. It's about making the right conscious decisions that lead you to the path of making all new decisions and habits, that which forge your new life. All right? It's not about saying, screw everything I know. It's about consistently taking different actions and starting new habits that create more of the life that you want to live, rather than being scared to make change and existing in the same uncomfortable comfortability that isn't serving you or your loved ones or anybody. Like, maybe serving a small amount of people, but as you become more comfortable in it, you become even less efficient, because that's how things bleed into one another. But if we just choose to remain in that, if we get so comfortable that we're not willing to make any sort of changes to what it is we do, to our process, how could we ever possibly expect a different outcome? How could we ever possibly expect to have a different reward for doing the same habits, the same actions? Right? And it's not just about the results. I don't mean that. I don't mean it's just about the results. I mean, like, in particular, the journey by which one goes through personally. That's the true reward. So therefore, if you constantly remain in the same path that you always have, that isn't satisfying, that doesn't fulfill you, that has brought you to where you are right now, and maybe that's not so pretty, how could you expect for the journey for the adventure to be any greater? For you to get onto a different mission in the path and it be anything more than what you've always known? Right? If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, if you're not willing to make the changes that it takes to have different outcomes, that's what the saying means. Like, you got to be, your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you making new decisions and taking different action to be a different state, to be in a different state of consciousness, to be in have a different concept of self. We've all seen we love to watch movies, right? And every movie has a story. And as a kid, I wondered about stories. I said, why does there have to be a bad guy? Why does there have to be a bad event? I was missing the whole point of the story, right? Even though it entertained me, right? The whole point of a story is that there is adversity, is that there is something going on that triggers people in the story, that causes pain to characters in the story, that leads out a path or an adventure for the characters to explore and face more pain, face more adversity, go through more, to experience more, to cause more excitement, more joy and relief whenever they get there, or at least a learning process throughout it. Why do we love to watch TV so much, yet we don't think about our life in the same way, and like to the degree of a story? If we were to watch TV and there was no story, like, in fact, that's when a TV or a movie is the worst, like gets terrible reviews, everybody hates it. It's because the storyline most often is trash. It's no good. It doesn't make sense, right? Like we can watch a show. I know a show I used to watch where the acting was but the storyline was amazing. So it always had me. I always wanted to watch it, even though the character's acting it could be shoddy at times, right? It's that story. It's that following along with the characters, who they are, how they feel, what they're doing. Like all of it matters. We all internalize. We all look at it like, wow, that's pretty interesting. My life isn't like that, but it could be like that maybe. We put ourselves in their shoes and we experience the emotions that they're going through when a show does it best, when a movie does it best. So, but if it wasn't for that adversity that made that character feel that way, there would be no emotion involved. We wouldn't care. We wouldn't want to watch it. So why is it then that we don't believe we need to constantly create or keep or change things in our life to face the adversity that we need to face to experience what we need to experience? Why is it that we think we can have more without doing more? Why is it that we think we're going to experience this wonderful life, which we should always be grateful? Why is it that we think we should have everything in the world, or we should be as comfortable and safe as possible, yet we still want to explore and have an adventure? We still like excitement deep down because that's who we are as humans. But we avoid it. We stay away from it, and it scares us, and it's not what we want to participate in just because we're scared on the inside, just because our anxiety are these different mental things, these mental disorders that we create in our own mind, I'll have you, prevent us from being calm enough to take action. It doesn't make sense, guys. When you really take a step back and look at it unemotionally, that's the biggest thing. You realize how much we limit ourselves, how much we prevent ourselves from seeing our future out in a way that we desire. Simply because we're scared and we're afraid of this or that. We're afraid of failure. We're afraid of judgment. You realize the only reason that someone is truly judging of someone and them taking action is because they don't take action. It's because they're stuck in that same pit and possibly have been for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Guys, get out of your bubble. Get out of the zone. Get into the zone, and do what it is you need to do to experience more of what you want to experience. You can do this. It's simple. We complexify everything. More than anything, you just have to be willing to face the pain. Go after what it is that you want to experience. That new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you the old comfortabilities. But it's slow. It can be a slow but sure process to make sure that you keep moving forward. You don't have to do everything in one day. I surely haven't. I've taken years to do this, and it's a progressive realization, as I always say, and as many have said before me. It's a progressive realization of what it is that you want to achieve. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It's Friday. Let's have a blessed, amazing, beautiful, abundant, powerful day. I love you guys. Let's go get them. See you later.